Anyway, yeah, BTB is definitely, I think most people agree with this, is the oldest crew on the southwest side. And there were some crews that were old, don't get me wrong, there were situated crews that were, like Chumley, CGA, Fun City Artists, Meowster, and Squad 1. Squad 1 was Fun City Artists. And but the thing with BTB was, collectively speaking, we were already a crew, because we were Mob Inc., MOB Inc., and Tag Inc. And this is not even in graffiti days. This is actually breakdancing days. So it predates us being in high school. So BTB starts out with us being in high school. And what happened is that sorry about that, man. It's raining big time out there. Says my window. I got the window open. So we were Tag Inc. and like I said, a lot of times people don't really realize that the breakdancing crews and graffiti crews, they were all gelled in. All the elements of hip hop were gelled in. Like DJing, rapping. Graffiti artists. What else? What have we said with all these four elements? Graffiti, rapping, breakdancing, and mixing. That was like principally the four elements of hip hop. And for BTB, we were graffiti crews. We came from two stigmatic crews, from breakdancing Origins, which was Hypnotic Rockers, and Freeze. And Freeze was really a more or less the more popular crew, skillfully. So they were on a lot of cable shows, like a Palomo show and all that. You can actually see my TV on these kind of cable, little local cable networks. You know what I mean? Before cable was a real big thing like that. That was pretty good. They had like their agents and stuff like that. So they were breakdancing before the graffiti. But we're also graffitiing. So during breakdancing days, we'd go to the tunnels and bomb some of the tunnels. Spray painting tunnels. I used to love doing tunnels, especially out there by Sheridan and all that. And I get arrested sometimes, man. I got arrested with Dare, and Dare, rest in peace, and quite a few other graffiti artists. A lot of times I got arrested, they arrested me without graffiti. They just said, "Hey, I know that's Riddle, or that's BTB, or let's go get that guy," And I wouldn't be doing it. We just sitting on a train. I got arrested with Salsky and Menace. Sitting on a train, not graffiti. We weren't doing anything. Not to say that we're not guilty graffiti artists, but at the time we weren't doing anything. The cops would just say, "Hey, we're just gonna get the guys." Later on, kind of weird, because a lot of us, some of the people that are in BTB, they turned to cops. They're sheriffs and all that. It's kind of strange. How ironic is that? But it's a old golden era of graffiti, silver era. Is that age or what is it? Silver age or golden age? I think it's golden age graffiti. The first wave. Then the silver age is like the breakdancing era. So when it came down from New York, we were not BTB at the time. We were Tag Inc. and Mobby, and we had Def Con and Andy, and Fernando Def Con, Andy. Jeanster had STB, Small Town Bronx, like a small town Bronx, like within a neighborhood, And there was back in the days we used to watch the movie The Warriors and get all hyped up, and we were kids, I was in 8th grade, going around playing around with each other. Just avoiding gangbang. We had to avoid a lot of gangbangers. Gangbangers lived in the area always. They're trying to recruit us. They recruit us all the time, man. They're 24/7. But at the time, a lot of people didn't know the crews were, graffiti crews were standing out. There were different things. Even before party crews, there were party crews, but then there were just crews that were lowriders or something. They're stylistic crew. Chingonas. Dagoberto and Armando and all these guys that were from out there by McCormick School out there, where we did the Green Reaper. That's how far it went back. We're talking about grammar school. Then when we get into high school, that's when BTB really takes its name. And the name BTB, at least this is the way there's some controversy over it, but from what my honest take on it was, because they'll say, "Oh, you were an original BTB." Of course, I was original, because I was there before BTB was born. I was there when it was Mob Inc. and Tag Inc. You see pictures of that all the way, so don't believe that's silliness. So I was there since the very beginning. But BTB itself, the name, was it was made by this guy Rocksky from Three's Crew and Salsky. So there's a little bit of tit for tat between those two about who made up the name, but I believe it's from both of them. I do. So I was tagging Mob Inc, and these guys started the first ring or circle of BTB, which is strange enough I wasn't in. But about 3 months later, not even 3 months later, about 2 months later, according to Salsky, I was BTB. And then maybe about a year later, Menace and Terror and a couple other guys got in. And from there started something really cool, which was a Def Prime unit. Which BTB is one of the first crews that had a subdivision. So Def Prime unit was kind of a subdivision of BTB, where you had to prove your muscle before you turned into crew. So in other words, you were not a full-fledged BTB until you proved yourself as DCU, as Def Prime unit. So that's when you go around do all this illegal graffiti and illegal piecing. And we go around a lot of the blue line. So BTB is subsidized more or less on the North Blue, which is the Douglas line. It's not split up now with the red line, pink line, all that. But back in the old school days, that's what it was a one streak line, which was the Douglas Blue. So we go all the way to the north side. You can see all this stuff from the Feds, Trickster, and all these other guys at the north side. We go all the way back south. And we see all this stuff from, Southside writers, Bastard Crew, Artistic, Spike, everybody like that, Ward. I'm just talking about people on the Douglas Blue, H-Rock and everybody, so, it kind of reminds me now because, so we had the original wave, which is the original members. So we're the original members, you know what I mean? And then, from us came, kind of like a second, I had a falling out with BTB crew over fighting, young guys fighting over girls. That's what it was about, fighting over girls. That I ended up leaving. I ended up taking some of the people from DCU crew with me, and we made up our own crew, Ice Pack. And that was Band One and Zorro and Rascal, Artie, London, Echo. Quite a few graffiti artists. And we did a lot of stuff at the Hall of Fame in Chinatown. A lot of illegal stuff at the Hall of Fame. I'll tell you, I got arrested. I just do a lot of illegal stuff. I would get away sometimes, and I get arrested sometimes. You know what I mean? I got arrested with Dare, rest in peace, and quite a few other people. Crush and Troops, Advanced Crew, God's Crew. So we were running game there. So eventually, kind of a Yoko Ono thing happened with Ice Pack, and we split up, and then I ended up going back to BTB, but under different, more of a leadership role. Bringing in a lot of people from the suburbs. I had some guys from the suburbs, Forbid, from Aurora, and I actually remember, I did a legal piece out there with Rogue from TBA, SB. He wasn't SB at the time, it was TBA. Those Bad Apples. We did actually an illegal piece underneath Vidoc, so, it's kind of a street credit thing, because, if you're out there doing graffiti that's just legal and not illegal, you're not going to get any street credit. So I had very strong street credit. You know what I mean, for getting out there and doing these things. And I get a lot of fights. I get in 2, 3, 4 fights a year with game bangers. You know what I mean? I be doing rooftop pieces and some of the hood, and they would see me up there. They go, "Hey, brother, you piece of poop, poop, poop," whatever. Bad words, throwing bricks and rocks at me. I'm up there doing a piece on the roof, they didn't know how to get up there, they wanted to jump the train line, So that's what it was when we were skinny, you know what I mean? We were just skinny ass kids, jumping the train line. So like I said, I think there was another wave. I don't want to skip that one, where it was important, where we got a lot of 18th Street writers. Because I went to go see H-Rock, and H-Rock was king of the line, of North Douglas, running around North Douglas, and so we got Gnome, and we got Johnsky as Prime, Johnsky Prime, a great artist, one of my favorite artists of all time, Johnsky. Gnome's good, is a really good character, kick-ass dragon character. Detour, Fiend. I don't know if H-Rock was BTB. He certainly rolled with us for a long time. I don't know if he turned crew, but he was with us for a while. FaZe, Joe Rock, quite a few people that joined BTB. and from 18th Street that was, it's kind of weird. The reason why I bring it up because right now it's like the artistic district. It was always you have the artistic loft, it was artistic district at the time, and now it is. On the southwest side, 18th Street would be without a doubt the central artistic district on the south side here, southwest. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's we got a lot of talent that was from 18th Street. I Detroit. I remember the guy Chase, Shine. Just really, man, I hate to, I mean, these guys were down, they were down with the crew, whatever it was. If we didn't get along or something, they would come up and, hey, they didn't take shit, you know what I mean? They come up to people and, they had a lot of spine, it kind of reminded me a little bit like, I was thinking about John Speed. John Speed was a tough guy, you know what I mean? I like John Speed. I like to think he was tough. He didn't take shit from people. Kind of like later on, I would meet other writers from different generations. They don't have the pizzazz, like the kind of street. They're more tame. They're not. Oh man, I'm gonna get off of that because I don't want people getting pissed off. There's a lot of new generation guys that are good. So what I'm saying is, I guess like in the old world, it was more of a rough and tumble deal. I had a fight with a guy named Fire once, by Justice. The guy pretty much kicked my ass, basically. But the point is that I can respect these guys because they would they stood their ground, man. Like if you believe in something, they stood their ground. They're not just trying to like follow a mold. Like they go and look at some graffiti stuff from Europe, and then it's just like. They have they're looking around trying to follow modes from outside of the United States, and not holding their ground about what they believe in. Because back in the old school days, when everything cost a nickel, we stood up for what we believed in, even if we had to fight each other to do it. And then again, when we did fight, we weren't killing each other, we weren't shooting each other, we weren't hitting each other with baseball bats. It was like watching The Outsiders or Rumblefish. You see these guys just fighting. You ever see The Wanderers and they start fighting with their fists and stuff? That's what it was like, man. Because it wasn't like we fight with game because we gotta watch out for that. But I mean, when graffiti artists were fighting graffiti artists, it was just usually the wall. It was straight up no fighting. But then if we had a personal problem, it was a one-on-one fist fight. It wasn't all this. It wasn't all this crap they got now. Just half gang banging and half tag banging. We call tag banging, not half gang banging and half graffiti. So. BTB's origins grew up in the golden age of graffiti, where there was a kind of a Bushido aspect. There was more honor. You know what I mean? If you had a battle, we had a battle for a wall. We lost. Hey, bro, we gave it the wall. That was it. I had a lot of battles with different people and different crews. I remember going to the Wall of Sin and having battles out there in the Wall of Sin and Chinatown. I'm talking about illegal stuff. Then having we had a battle with Chapter 13 and go out there, do our walls, and then go out there, do our bond and all that stuff. And that, and we respected each other. Dare used to come by my house, hey, you BTB, big titty bitches, blah blah, come pick me up from the house, and we're in warring crews, but we're still partying. You know what I mean? So it was a good deal. You know what I mean? It was a golden age, a golden era, and I do miss those days. Everybody's gonna be nostalgic. It's like that's like the song from Bruce Springsteen, Glory Days, So the origin of BTB, it came out very early. They were knocked around the name in '83, then probably got the name at the ending of that. And in '84 is when it was really started running. So it was being ran on the line as BTB. But before that, it was Tag Crew and Mob Inc. And it was a very wonderful time. Where those kind of innovative artists, as teenagers, you gotta remember, we're just little kids, man. Think about it now, we're just little kids. And to think about how kids can have that kind of talent to make that kind of organization and still have a lasting proof that proves out today for well over 30 years. It's amazing. Had you went back in time and you told Jinxter or Roxby or Sal or Menace or somebody, hey, guess what? You're gonna invent a crew and that crew is gonna last for 33, 35 plus years. They'd say you're crazy. No one would believe it. But yet, here we are.